when I walk in Old Navy, they nice too. They smiling.
They get paid minimum wage.
Well, they need to talk. They need to talk that with the governor. They need to be voting for today in Atlanta. If you. Hi, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Brandon. And welcome to episode...
Second season.
Season 2 of
Can
we get a minute? That was your fault that time.
I guess.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, Happy New Year.
And how are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Happy New Year.
It's the 5th. Yeah. Wow. 5 days. The year's going by so fast.
Yes.
Oh, it's 5 days already.
Oh.
It was your first just the other day.
First time I've seen you this year.
You're a clown. But Happy New Year, guys. We hope and pray that your new year is better than 2020.
Yes. And it was safe and you had fun. We had lots of fun.
We had fun in 2020.
No, I'm talking about I was talking about like the new year.
That we're going to have fun?
No. Like our New Year celebration is what I meant to say.
Oh, okay. New Year.
Yeah, our New Year celebration was fun. I hope your New Year celebration was fun and you had a great time and you do all the things that everyone says you should do.
You're hilarious. So today we're going to talk about some of our differences that we have.
Yes.
We have a lot in common. We have a lot. Should I move this over?
Yeah, you can.
We have a lot in common, but of course we have things that we don't agree on.
Yes, that we differ a lot about. Brittany likes to say that we have so much in common and all that stuff, and then I tend to focus on we don't have that much. I mean, we do have a lot in common, but yeah. I'm what I meant to say is we have a lot of differences as well.
Of course, ain't nobody like equal, but we do have a lot in common, and we have many things that we don't have in common.
Yeah.
So
in this season 2, we are going to be more consistent with our show. And
a lot of things in life.
Yeah, a lot of other things in life.
Consistency is definitely key. Maybe that could be like our word for the year, consistency.
Yeah.
You know.
Word for the year, consistency.
But yeah, so one of the things that we completely differ on is tipping at a restaurant.
Oh yeah. So I used to for like 8 years I was a server. I served I hosted and bus tables at Bonefish Grill, and then I hosted at Capitol Grill. I served at Olive Garden, and that's it. Yeah, and I served at Olive Garden. Yep, that's it. So I have many years in the restaurant game. COVID, and
I thought we were leaving that in 2020.
You said we gonna leave that?
Yeah, we said that.
She got a whole list of stuff. She said you need to leave in 2020. You need to leave this. You need to leave that.
I gotta leave. Well, you didn't say what I need to leave in.
Yeah, I know because I let you be you through and through.
No, we're not doing that.
But yeah, so I grew up but I was in the restaurant game for a very, very long time. So tipping is very important to me. Not so important to this one.
Let me tell you how much experience I have in the restaurant game.
Yeah, go ahead.
None.
And that's why.
And that might be the root of why we have our differences.
100%.
But, well, I guess it might be. So y'all, tell the people why you feel like tipping is important.
Oh, yeah. So tipping is important to me because that's how servers make their money, right? So they don't make any money in their hourly. Some of them make $1, $2 an hour. But that money goes towards taxes. So after taxes are taken out, you literally, like my checks, I didn't get checks. I didn't make anything. It was zero. A lot of times you owe, depending on how much you claim, you're supposed to claim a certain amount at the end of the night. You're supposed to claim the right amount so you can tax it, correctly. But people like me just typed in random numbers to get out of there because I want to get out as quickly as possible. So that was my tips was how I made my money. So if everyone thought the way she thought, then I wouldn't make any money and would be no servers. And you wouldn't enjoy the company of being served at a restaurant. That's just the fact of it. So you tell everyone why you think tipping is trash garbage. And we'll get into stereotypes.
First of all, like I've told you before, so now I gotta look at you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think it's trash. There are times when I do tip. I don't. The thing between me and you is that you believe that you should tip no matter what. I don't agree. I feel like it should be optional. It is completely up to the consumer. I don't.
Well, it is optional.
Right, but you always made it seem like you gotta tip. You're a bad person if you don't tip. Yada yada yada. And I'm just like, I don't have to tip. There's times when I have gone to a restaurant and if I get bad service, I'm not tipping. If I don't feel like giving a $20 tip or a $10 tip, I've given five. When the times that I do tip, I'm more likely to get $5. It's just like here, I don't know. It's just like, and also my thing is people think that you got to tip at a higher end restaurant, and I'm like, the server is not doing it. They're just giving me my food. Whether you giving my food at Applebee's, it's gonna be on that same plate. Whether it's at Capitol Grill, or we love Capitol Grill.
It's the service. They're offering service.
I know, but still, it's like just like my grandmother, and my mom says that I'm just like her in some ways. That she's just like, you gonna tell me how to spend my money? Why I gotta give you more money? Why I gotta if you want to go
sit down and get served.
No, I'm going to do that. It's up to me on how I want to spend my money. I don't think that people should be looked down on because they don't want to tip. And again, I'm not against, let me be very clear. It's not that I'm against tipping. I do tip. I'm against people who feel like you got to tip every single time. And I can't even believe that people tip when you get bad service. You ain't getting what? So I wasn't giving you money to begin with. And now I'm what? And I'm sorry, before I even met the Lord, I was one of them people who would ask for a to-go box. Can I get a to-go box? You got a pen? Great. And write a tip on. Did
you ever get that? That's fun. That's so.
Well, I mean,
certain jokes are so played out.
I was young. That's why I said before I met God. I was much younger when I did that. But I would write them a tip and give them some really good advice. But
okay, so what are your specific rules? Because I have my rules for tipping. What are your rules for tipping? If you say you tip sometimes you don't. So if you go out, let's just say for the rest of your life, every time you went out, you got good service. Not great, not bad, just good, average service. Are you tipping a consistent amount off that good service, or are you just picking and choosing depending on how you feel?
Yeah, it really depends on how I feel. There's times when I go in a restaurant and I don't want to give more money, whether it be because maybe I don't have much money, or maybe I just don't feel like it. I feel like to me it goes upon what I just feel in that moment, or like if I'm led to it. To be honest with you, there's no set rule. I'm not getting out the calendar to see what the percentage is. I'm not doing any of that.
So,
you know what I mean?
So it's just how you feel. So there could be times when you go into restaurants, you get good service and you tip nothing. There could be times when you go into restaurants, you get good service and you tip a lot.
Yeah, and there's times when I may have went out to a restaurant a few times and I tipped $5 each time. There was one time I was at a friend, I think it was a Friendly's, but the waiter, she was pregnant, and I don't know, I just felt led to, so I gave her like $30. I just felt led. You know what I mean? Like there's times when I have that too. If maybe the Holy Spirit is leading me to give more. Now, but I'm not saying
that always happens with women. That don't really happen with guys like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I'm the Holy Spirit doesn't lead me to give tips in general. It's just sometimes if I feel led at that moment for that. But across the board, it's just really based upon how I feel. I don't think about it. Like there's the times when, when me and you have been trying to figure out, what to eat, and you're like, I don't want to go to a restaurant because I don't want to tip. I don't think about that. Me, it's just either I'm going to a restaurant or I'm not. It's not based upon, I don't want to tip. Me, I'm like, no.
It should be though. That's what I'm saying. It should be. And
that's
the
what
reason
saying,
why,
who said, like, there's no. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's not who said. I think the reason why is because that's how these people make their money.
Oh, that's another thing.
That's how these people make their money. So my thing is, if you don't want to tip, then you should tell them ahead of time. Like you should let them know when they come to the table and they go, hey, my name is whatever, and I'll be your server today. Hey, whatever. My name is Brittany. This is Brandon. Just want to let you know I will be paying for the bill, and I will not be tipping. Unfortunately, I don't want to tip. Just so she knows, okay, this person isn't tipping. So they're not going to give you great service because you're not paying them for that great service. You have to pay for service. That's the way it is. So I look at tipping as part of the bill. It's a gratuity. Some states and some places automatically include it, but most places don't. So I look at it as, okay, if I'm taking my girl out, I pretty much spend $20 on the meal. She pretty much spend $20 on a meal. We typically drink water. We don't drink anything else. So that's about $40 for the meal. We want to get dessert. Let's just say that's $10. So then that's $60. And then now I got a tip on top of that as well. So 20% of $60 is $12. So now I'm like, okay, let me just round 15. So I'm going to be spending around $75. So that's what I think in my mind. I just automatically include it. I'm going to spend around $75 for a meal for her. We spend $20 a piece and get $10 dessert. That's just automatically goes on in my head because this server, that's how they make their money. And that also, I also don't want people to, because working in the restaurant game, as you know, or people that have worked in the restaurant game, it is a stereotype that black people don't tip, and you are fitting that stereotype. It just is. It's like if we're in a restaurant and there's a bunch of Caucasians in there and we walk in the door, all the servers are in the back like, I don't want that table. I don't want them. They're automatically saying that. I don't want them. And the reason why they're saying that is because of what you just said. And I don't like that. I don't want people to be, I don't want to serve this guy because he's not going to tip me. Now, some of them automatically think that.
Well,
the reason why.
Going back to your comment on that's how they make money, that don't got nothing to do with me. If you want more money, then you need to find a better paying job. That's just how I have to.
See,
because
that's not fair. That's not. Not everyone can get a better paying job. Serving is a good job.
You
if
can
people
go.
tip.
You can go right. I don't want my income. Well, I can't say that because that's how my income is now. It's based upon people paying me. But as far as a tip, I wouldn't want that. Like that is a decision that they woke up and they decided to do. They decided to apply to Red Lobster, and they knew that they were gonna how they make their money is gonna be based upon tips. That was what they decided. So they need to go to work hoping that they're gonna get tips. But that don't got nothing to do. I'm not responsible for that.
How come you don't tell them ahead of time that you're not going to tip them?
Because I'm not against tipping, boo. That's why I keep telling you. It's not a thing where I'm going to walk in. Just but sometimes I don't know. I don't think about it. That's why I'm saying, like, when we say, oh, go out to eat, or I don't like tip. When I go eat, or even if I go alone, I'm not thinking about tipping at all. I'm not thinking about that until the bill comes, or until maybe like midway through or something like that. Or if I'm waiting too long, it's like, just took off $3. It's like you already late or whatever. Or I don't know. It's just I'm not thinking.
Just took off $3 of what? You don't know what you're gonna give.
It's probably the $5 though. It's usually $5.
See, I think that's so terrible.
No. I'm playing, but it's just like it's not a thing where I'm. If I was against tipping, we can talk about that. Why don't you go in and tell them you're not going to tip? I'm not against tipping. I'm against having to feel what's the word? Not responsible, but I guess what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Obligated?
It's obligated. Thank you. Obligated. Yeah, I'm against feeling obligated to tip every single time. No.
The way I do my tipping, I always give something, but I base it off of how the service was. So if the service is okay or whatever, then I give my 18-20%.
18-20.
Yeah, but
I thought it was 10.
No, it's not 10. Where'd you get 10?
I thought tipping was like 10%.
No, 18-20. So I give my 18-20%. If it was trash, then I may go down to 10, 15. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this person was bad. If they treated me like garbage, they were rude, ignorant, and it was really bad, then no, I'm not gonna tip anything. But I'm gonna let that known. That's gonna be known. Like, you gonna know you're not getting nothing. You know what I mean? Like, this was horrible. This was really bad. Like, what's up with this? You know what I mean? So it all depends. But I wanted to ask you, so when you had short hair and you would go to the barber, did you tip?
Sometimes I didn't. It's the same thing with the barber.
So it was the same thing with the barber as far as it's not like how they did or how nice were they or anything. It's just, if I feel like tipping this time, I'll tip. If I don't, then I don't.
Yeah, there were sometimes when I did tip, depending on what barber I had, depending on the amount. It really
so there's no
depends.
Service or anything that you would tip for?
Consistently, like every single time?
Yeah.
A service? I don't go to the nail salon. I tipped the girl who did my hair, who straightened my hair last month. I gave her a $10 tip. I added $10 on.
Okay, so why'd you give her? Do you consistently do that whenever you get your hair done? Like in the past when you got your hair done, did you tip?
When it comes to giving additional money, it's just nah. Now my parents have always believed that. Well, number one, my parents, they don't have restaurant experience, but they do believe in tipping. That like you should tip.
Yeah.
But but one thing I guess I would do, and I have done, I don't always check a bag at the airport, but my parents always said that they have your personal items. You need to tip, right? Now, the same thing could be said about food. It's just like, people, that's kind of different because that waiter's not cooking my food. But when you go to the airport and you do like the actual check bag at the front, right? They always felt that you should tip, the person at the front.
Time out. They tip the person that takes your bag and put it on a belt and never sees that bag ever again?
The person, back before COVID, remember they were always outside? They were, you would like hop out the car and they'll be right there. And then they take your bag. That person.
That's not at every airport. And even them people, they just put it on a conveyor belt and never see it again.
That's
so you're tipping them and they literally do that and literally don't touch your bag ever again. If I'm going to tip someone, I don't know how you would, but if I'm going to tip someone in the thing, I would tip the guy that's putting my bag on the plane. Or because he drives it and he offloads that John. So I would tip that person because the people on the front, even if they're outside or in, they just put it on the belt and then it goes away and they never see it again.
Well, I guess if they thought that they handled the bag, but
maybe back in the day they used to.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, before 9/11.
Sure. But yeah, I'm not giving a person at the counter a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, they just put it on the thing. I mean, they don't do anything. Plus, I also look at it as them people are making money. Like them people are making an hourly raise. They have an actual salary and stuff. You know what I mean? Whereas servers do not. They just don't. Now, we did agree with this. The person that's winning in all this is the restaurant business, the owners. They literally, they have a whole slew of expenses they have to pay for. But payroll for front of house is not a huge expense. For front of house, you're paying what? You're paying probably maitre d's and hosts and different things like that, depending on what type of restaurant you have. Mm-hmm. But you're not paying bartenders, servers, and they do the grunt of the work. Right. They do all the. Obviously, the people in the back do the grunt of the work as well. Most of the grunt of the work by cooking your food, and they actually get paid. But you're paying what? At least in certain restaurants, you're paying a few Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not paying that much. So they're the real winners in this whole entire thing. I don't know. I just go, this person, this is how they're making their money. Like, I just don't want to take that away.
If the cook was bringing my food out, I would definitely feel different about it.
See, why do you feel different?
I just feel like, I guess
they get paid though. The cooks get paid.
Okay, they can make more if they bring my food out to me. You know what I just realized?
What?
You know how we always talk about like let's unpack that?
Yeah.
Right.
I always say that, but go ahead.
I've said it to you too.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, darn, I lost my train of thought. I wonder if it has any correlation to the fact that I don't like middlemen. I cannot stand any middleman on any ground level.
What does that mean, middleman?
I'd rather deal with you directly. When people are like, oh yeah, my boy hooks up cars, I'll give him your number. Can I get his number? Can I talk to him? I always do that. I cannot stand middlemen.
So servers are the middlemen?
Maybe they are, because
I don't think they are,
because they're bringing me only bring me my food. Everybody,
they're not only bringing you your food.
Everybody in the world needs to be nice. They need to be respectful.
No, they don't.
They should be.
They should,
right? So,
but they don't.
Somebody like me who's always happy, like I love that. I feel like that people should naturally be that way, right?
Okay,
but they're not, right? So that's half of serving right there is making you feel comfortable, being nice for you. Okay,
your drinks. Great. Your dessert.
If it's alcoholic beverage, the bartender's giving them that.
No, the bartender's making it.
Making it, right? Yeah. Right. They're just giving it to me, right? Again, back to the cook. You're not making anything for me. What, the water with the lemon? Thank you.
The dessert.
They're
The
bringing it out.
sauces.
That's what I'm saying. They're bringing it out to me. Somebody is giving that to them. Here, go bring this to table 8.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe because same thing with like my business. I had a client who had a property manager, and her name, well, I won't say her name, but there was a property manager, and I would have an issue out of you, and I'm like, hey, can you find out X, Y, and Z? I gotta wait. Hopefully they see my my message, and then they gotta then go and then reach out, and I gotta hope. Now I'm just waiting. I hate that. I rather very much, can I please talk to the actual owner of this house? Property managers are good for certain things when it comes to the things that I need.
Yeah, but the owners are busy doing other things.
I understand the purpose of it, but I'm just saying that could be the reason why I don't like. I want to just be direct on who I need to talk to. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to your friend.
So you
I don't want to wait for you to call me back with a number.
So you don't think that servers that come to our table when me and you go out to eat, and then they hear you do this? Okay, now what's exactly in that? Okay, now can they take that out? Okay, now why is that cost different from that? Okay, what do you like? Okay, you typically get that? What does it taste like? Okay, now how big is it? So you don't think a server that sits there and takes the time to answer all your little intricate little questions and all your modifiers and all your take this out, put this in and extra this and cook this way, all your little thing. You don't think they deserve a little bit of cash at the end of hearing all that? You honestly don't.
That's why they get that $2 an hour.
That's not enough.
That's their problem.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
if I need more money, guess what I do? I go out on Indeed and I find another job.
But not everyone can do that.
Nobody can. What? The same way they got that job is the same way they can get another one. I don't understand. You can go now. Hold on, I'm sorry. They might not get hired right away. We all have that issue, but you can go out and constantly apply it.
Okay, but if everyone takes that same logic that you're saying, then there would be no servers, right? There would be no servers unless they get paid a long hourly rate. But let's just say they don't, and the cost is what it is. Now, nobody would serve tables. Now, how are you going to get your food? You go into a restaurant. Restaurants are about the experience as well, right? It's about the experience. You're out to eat. Someone's bringing your food. Someone's cooking your food, and someone's bringing it to you. It's like, ooh, this is nice. You know what I mean?
It's free.
It's about the experience. So you go into a restaurant, and you sit down. Then what do you got to do? You got to get up and get your own drink. Fine. It's like Chipotle. You get up, you go get your own drink. Like fine. Now, isn't it nice when someone brings it to you, though? Tell me that's not nice when someone brings it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very nice when someone brings it to you. But fine. You go up and get it. Now, you want your meal and all your different modifier meals and stuff. And now there's a bunch of other people in this restaurant, and you want to talk directly to the man. You want to talk directly to the chef.
Let me talk to the cook.
To the person that's cooking the food.
How you fried my fish, sir.
Okay. So now you're waiting in a long behind line along with you and a bunch of other people, right, to put in your order. But fine, you wait in that order. But you go, wait, I want my dessert first. I want my appetizer first, right? So pace of meal is also something that servers do. They pace your meal out to fit your needs. But you don't need that, right? So you're like, okay, I want an appetizer, but I want to come up and get it, right? And I want to eat it. Now, when I'm done my appetizer and I let it sit for a little bit, I want to be able to come up and get the order I placed with you, my food. I want to get that right when I'm done. Now, you expect that restaurant to no servers, the chef or the cook in the back to pace out your meal the way you want it. I want artichoke dip, and I want a steak rare, right?
I've never really questioned the pace of it.
Well, that's what it is. That's what servers do. They pace your meal.
I know that. I'm just saying I never had.
I know you haven't questioned it because when you're serving, those things just happen. You're used to them happening. That's what you're paying for. So you go up and you go, oh, I want artichoke dip and I want a steak rare. But I want the artichoke dip first, and then I want the steak rare a little bit later, along with other people getting well-done steaks. So now you got to figure out to pace out his medium steak, his rare steak, his well-done steak. Well-done take longer than rare, so you got to pace out their thing. But that's not your problem, right? All you're thinking about is your tummy, right? So I'm going to go up, okay? I go, Mr. Chef, I know there's a long line of people behind me, but I want my artichoke dip first. Then 5-6 minutes, depending on how it sits, or depending on how quick I eat the meal, if I'm talking a lot, depending on all that stuff, I want my steak when I want my steak. Okay, so then you take your thing, you go walk all the way back to your table, you sit down, and you dip your thing, and you go, you know what? About 8 minutes went by. I'm ready for my steak. You go up to get your steak, and they go, oh, it was cooked 5 minutes ago. You said you wanted 5 minutes ago. It's been sitting up in the window for 3 minutes. it's this steak is a little cold. It's like, yeah, because we made your steak before. Whereas your server paces your meal. When I serve tables, everyone, I would go up to the table. I'll go, hey, what do you guys want? Oh, we want this, and then we want this with our meal. Okay, yeah, no problem at all. I would go put that food in, and I put a hold on that food. Don't cook that food yet. Because I don't want their food to be sitting up there getting cold in the window.
I understand all of that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that's the experience. That's the experience of getting served. Nothing is free. You pay for that experience. The prices you see on the menu is for that steak. The tip is for that service, all the extra stuff, the pace of meal, them bringing you food, them bringing your drink so you don't have to get up and go. The only thing you have to get up and do is go to the bathroom. All that stuff is what you're paying for. When you go into Chipotle, when you go into Panera Bread, all that stuff, the pace, all that extra stuff.
Panera Bread don't do that.
Yeah, Panera Bread. They don't serve you.
They don't, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm saying when you go to Chipotle, Panera Bread, Panda Express, when you go into those other places, you don't pay a gratuity because you're not getting those extra perks. That's why there's a difference between getting served and not getting served.
The gratuity is just, that's when they add it on, isn't it?
Some places, yeah, but it's a tip. A gratuity is a fancy way for tip. They just automatically add that on. For parties that are large, they automatically add that on.
It's not mandatory,
Yeah, some states it is, though. Some states, they automatically put a gratuity on there.
Yeah, that's
those places you don't have to tip. The gratuity is going to them.
You gotta find out where that's at.
New York does it.
Oh, you can't eat there. You're not doing that.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
Anyway,
if you decide not to pay tip or a gratuity, so people just call it gratuity. If you decide not to pay a gratuity to your server, then you should not go out to eat and get served.
Like I said, I'm not against it. If I had that mindset, sure, tell me, hey, make sure you tell your waiter you're not going to get,
So
served,
you're
or,
against.
Hey, don't get. I told you,
I'm against. That's the main thing you're against.
No, I'm against feeling obligated to do it every single time. I'm against that. I do tip.
So then you should be against servers feeling obligated to tip you just because you walked your little cute behind in, because you are cute.
Thanks.
Because you walked your little cute behind in, now they're obligated to serve you. If you walked into my restaurant and they sit you in my section, I'm obligated to serve you. You don't want to feel obligated to tip me, so I don't want to feel obligated to serve you. So now you wait. But you're not going to get that.
Fired,
see, that's what. Yeah, see, that's why. See, that's the.
You woke up and went to that job.
Okay, but that's I think.
Pointed. I just
yeah, I know. That's what I think gets me though. I think that's what gets to me. As a server, if you sit there in my section, I'm now obligated to serve you. But you are not obligated to tip me. That's why people put so much emphasis on tipping, and you should tip, because if you expect to get served, and you expect to get served in a timely fashion, like you just said. You expect all these things. In return, I expect 18%.
You better take it out with your boss. You talking about expecting.
Now you don't see that as slightly bougie. You don't see that as
not bougie. No.
No, I'm just bringing it down. You don't see that as, oh, when I come in, whose section is this? Susie Q. I like say it's Susie.
Yeah, I don't know why you just the only thing you know.
Whose section is this? Oh, I'm in Susie Q section. Well, Brittany goes, this is Brittany. Susie Q better serve me. Not only serve me, but serve me in a timely fashion, and she better be nice about it, because that's just how people should be. Now, that's your expectations.
But she might get tipped.
Okay, but...
Or she might not.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's your expectations. Your expectations is, this shorty better serve me, and serve me politely and in a timely fashion. Those are your automatic expectations. Now, you're saying she should not have expectations that you should automatically give her 18% for that. It's like, okay, I'll do that.
They should have told her that when she got hired. You might not get tipped, girl.
Well, she knows that, boo. She knows she might not get tipped. But I'm just saying, my argument for that is, that's not fair. I personally think there should automatically be an 18 gratuity on everything, so everyone could get tipped. If you're not paying those servers a normal minimum wage or a normal wage, then you should be obligated to get 18%. That's the whole argument in the thing. There's a minimum wage in every state. Every state has a minimum wage. The only people exempt from that minimum wage is under the table people, obviously, because it's under the table, and serving tables. Why are they exempt from that 18%? Because it's supposedly you should be getting a tip. But if you don't get a tip, then you should at least get that minimum wage. And you're saying that's not my problem. Then what I'm saying is every server in America that sees her, you don't have to be timely. You don't have to pace her meal out. You could bring her food out cold if you want.
I'm gonna ask for your manager if you do that.
Okay, you gonna ask for her for their manager, and now they're gonna get in trouble, and they're gonna get this chick doesn't tip.
You got hired to be polite to these people, and we
for money. Don't you work for money?
When we hired you, we told you might not get a tip.
But don't you work for money?
Yeah.
They work for money too.
Yeah, but that don't got. I'm not responsible for that. I should not be condemned for that. I should not. It's optional. We should.
So you should get the perks, but not have to. You should reap all the benefits.
When I walk in Old Navy, they nice too. They smiling.
They get paid minimum wage.
Well, they need to talk. They need to talk that with the governor. They need to be voting for today in Atlanta. If you. If you come here, Cameron, you right there, I'm talking to you. If you got a problem with you not making minimum wage at your restaurant, make sure you vote. Elect the officials in office that can turn that over.
When you clean your units and stuff, you get paid, right?
Yep.
And there's certain things that you expect, right?
From my client?
From your clients.
I expect them to pay me when I'm done because we agreed to that.
Yeah, you agreed to that. Okay. But there's also things that you expect should happen that doesn't happen all the time, but that you complain about and you don't like. I'm
going to say what other people have told me, which this might be the first time I ever said it. Life ain't fair.
Okay.
It's not fair.
I say that a lot, actually.
That they, what? Oh.
No, I just want to do it directly.
Yeah, I mean, but again, if I'm not expecting them to tip me now. Some clients do tip me. Cool, but you pay me or whatever, right? That was the arrangement that we had. But with the service, I understand what they do, but it's just at the end of the day, that's what they signed up for. They signed up for. I just don't want to be condemned and looked down on. Again, I do tip. I just don't tip every time.
But there's certain things you expect from your client. So if they get a late checkout or if they grant a late checkout, you expect them to let you know.
They have to let me know.
Yeah.
And sometimes they forget. And I get there at 11 and they're like, oh, I forgot to tell you that they're leaving at 2. And then guess what? I got to charge them for that too. Because now it's.
So they get paid for that.
Yeah,
you get paid. I should say. I'm sorry, you get paid for that.
Right, but now sometimes I don't charge them for that, but that is a fee. Just like we couldn't get in your unit, that's an inconvenience.
Mm-hmm. And if you go into a unit and it's trashed, it's above normal cleaning things. You get paid for that as well, right?
Get paid for that. And I set the price. Just how when I do my hiring, and some people say, "Oh, the pay is kind of low." You don't gotta take it. Yeah, and true. They don't take it, right? And then other people, that's high for them, and then they take it, or they want it, or whatever, and they take it. That's what you signed up for. So they signed up for that. You might get tipped. It's a rolling of the dice. Sometimes y'all might make $300 in a night. Sometimes you might make $100. That's just the name of the game. It is what it is. If it's that bad, maybe the world, if everybody stopped tipping, maybe it'll be like that place down on Howell Mill, that restaurant. That building that has like over 100 restaurants, and you order the food and they hand it to you. It's not a restaurant. Well, is it still called a restaurant or no? I guess it's like a pickup type of thing.
Yeah, that's not a
restaurant.
A restaurant where you get served. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I tip. There's been times when I went out to eat multiple times in a week, and I've tipped each time, and there's times when I haven't. I don't think people should tell you how to spend your money or look down why you don't do this or you shouldn't be going out. There's people that feel like you shouldn't look at a price tag when you go shopping if you don't have it. And I'm like, I think that's so dumb. I'm going to look at this price tag, or I'm going to ask how much does that cost.
Well, I guess to that I just say, you're telling them that they should they know what they signed up for, and that sometimes they'll get tipped and sometimes they won't. So I guess to you, I would say when you go in and get served, you might get bad service. I guess you're okay with the stereotype thing. I'm not okay with that. That bothers me.
I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. I mean,
But I also don't really know about that until you told me. So that's not something that I'm even thinking about. I don't.
if me and you go into a restaurant, I'm gonna say 80% of the time, some server is in the back complaining because they don't want to serve us. If we sit them in our section, they're probably gonna be upset.
Even in Atlanta, when everybody's black.
Yes.
They show every customer. I don't want them. I don't want them. They gonna say that about all of them.
Yeah. I'm serious. That's just. I've worked in I've worked in 3 restaurants in Atlanta, and both the other ones are in South Jersey, and that's how it was every time. And it wasn't even just Caucasians doing it.
That's dumb. That's dumb. For you
I did it.
But that's dumb for you to work at, let's just say Atlanta, in an all black area, and you be mad at all the customers. That's dumb. You're mad that more black people.
Yeah, because
everybody in here is black.
We don't tip because black people have your mindset.
Why are you working there then? If you're that upset over the place of business that you chose to work at, for 80% of the customers to be black, and you have that mindset.
I don't know about but just because you're in a black area doesn't mean that you're getting 80% black people coming into the restaurant. It also depends on the type of restaurant you work at, right? So you could be in a black area and work at an Italian restaurant. You may not get 80, 90% black people. You may get 80, 90% of the only Italians in the area coming to your restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess it all depends. But for you servers out there that are watching this is who you're afraid of. This is who you're afraid of. So if you ever see this face, don't feel obligated to give good service because she doesn't feel obligated to pay for that service.
But I do. Well, you need to understand. I really feel like you believe that I'm slightly against it. I'm
it's not
against it.
Okay, but okay.
So they shouldn't be afraid of me.
I just want to explain for a second.
When they see
they
my
should
face,
be afraid of you.
When they see my face, they should hope that she pays.
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's the gist of it. She will tip, but she's not going to tip enough. So you could have a $300, $400 bill. You're going to get $5, okay? Which is what? At a 300, you mean it doesn't 3. So that's like a little under 2%, 1 point something percent of that bill you're going to get. So you can give 2% of service. Whatever that looks like. I guess 2% of service would be
them coming
don't
late.
Bring the food out. Them coming late, bring the drink. That's what you could do with her, okay? So if you see her
not checking on me, I hate when they don't do that.
She's going to give She's going to give 2% of that bill. So you can give her 2% of the service.
Or I might give you a $10 tip.
But if she walks into a store and she sees this item right here, how much is this item? $2,000? I really want that item. She don't go up and go, you know what? I'm just going to give y'all 2% of how much this costs. And y'all going to have to take it. They go, okay, ma'am, you could do that. Excuse me, Mr. Policeman. Please take this little girl to jail with her little cute behind.
I ain't no little girl. Thank you.
Dang, we got off on a tangent on the tipping.
I knew we were.
I know.
I told you that.
All right, so what? So quickly, what else do we not have in common? What did we say?
That's a whole episode.
I know, it really is.
It's okay. But, I mean, that's good because then we can talk about the celibacy, which I really think that would be a good topic. We can do that next Tuesday.
Stay tuned next Tuesday. We're talking about sex. I was going to say something inappropriate. We're talking about sex, celibacy. Should you do it? Should you not do it? Are we having sex? Are we doing it on a regular? Are we going to do it right after this? Stay tuned to find out. We said we wasn't doing that anymore. Okay, now I'm going to bring that back. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of
Can We Get a Minute? I'm Brittany.
And I'm Brandon. Goodbye.